Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio, California. With me today is Jiunn, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Good man. Sorry, I
Doing
don't.
doing well. I wish I could smoke tonight, but we've got some gale force winds and rain, which is
Hmm,
whatever.
not good.
No.
All right. So today we are talking about the JRE Aladino Corojo Reserva Figurado. Cigars Figurado, 6.25 by 54. Comes out of the Las Lomas factory in Honduras. It is all Honduran Corojo, upper binder filler. Price point is $16. Cigars
Did not
released
know
in,
this was.
you didn't know that
I didn't
much.
know this was $16, man.
Yep. It
Wow.
was released in June
Ooh.
of 2021, and we picked these up from Corona Cigar Company. So I think they still have some. So you can go to the website, coronacigar.com, or stop into one of the shops in Florida, pick one up, have a drink, enjoy yourself.
I
Definitely
bet
have a
they
drink
do,
there.
man. For $16, a Honduran Puro, you bet they're on the shelf. They'll be
Yep.
there for about 10 years.
Got a nice
Yep.
tissue
That's
wrap on
nothing
down the
against
foot.
Jeff, man. That's
Oh, it's
just
got
American
no.
smokers.
It's protected by a condom.
All right, June, what was your experience like?
It is that white tissue. It looks like a freaking condom.
Kids don't
Anyways.
use it as a condom, but kids don't be watching this.
You, you all thought the same thing when you pull that sleeve back. Anyways, so I thought that I didn't like the cigar. I have a more of a love hate, more towards hate relationship with this line because I still remember going to La Zona Palooza. What is it, 3 years ago that we went to?
Yeah.
And we were at Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
and I picked up I believe the Robusto version of this when it first came out, and it was just lights out amazing, right? So fast forward a little bit to after that, we actually reviewed it for review. It was like a whole different cigar. This cigar I thought was it was just like this dominant, like you know how sometimes like cigars taste kind of like tinny, like a metallic kind of a tinny sort of a note sometimes. So I got a lot of that off the bat. So that kind of put me in the mood of like, man, what are we going to be in for this? And then it had this like slick white pepper spice to it. It was just like basically that with a medium full strength profile, medium body, and it was mundane. It was really like uneventful, and for such a big cigar to be this uneventful, it sucks even more.
All right, Seth, what was your experience like?
And June, I get distracted when you get going, man. I love it.
But spin the truth, brother.
So these are annual releases. And what I found, well, I guess I'll get to it. Listen, I really enjoyed everything I got out of the cigar. It was like coffee and leather, cedar, and there was this rosemary and red pepper combination, the first third, that was very elegant. I liked it. Medium body and strength, beginning to end. I think it was medium full to full in the first third, but then it came down. Nice balanced cigar.
All right, John, what was your experience like?
Yeah, I mean, what do we always say about Honduran tobacco? It's either great or it's not. And this is an example of where size matters. And I think, I really enjoyed the Robusto. I really enjoyed the Lancero. It's too much. It's too much. I think it started out nicely. It had sort of a dry, musty, baking spice, creamy cocoa combination going on. And I was like, okay, maybe we're going back to that, the Corojo Reserva that I really like. But man, the word Jiunn used was mundane, and that was really the descriptor of the second third. It wasn't unpleasant. It's just like, oh man, like if there's not enough to engage me in the flavor profile for a cigar that's this size, it's like, oh, I really don't want to be smoking this thing for 2.5 hours without enough to keep me interested. And unfortunately, the second third and the last third were just, I mean, like again, not unpleasant, but I could have been playing tennis. I could have been watching a show. I wouldn't have been paying any attention at all to the cigar because it just didn't keep me engaged. Burn was very good. Had some flakiness to the ash. I did have to do a touch up in the last third. And I did have some resistance to the draw, which was unusual because I usually with overall pretty average for me. Aaron, what about you?
The cigar started well for me. I was doing a good amount of transitioning in that first third, but by the time I got to the second third, the profile became, you guessed it, mundane. I know a lot of people like this line. It has just never hit for me, and this Vitola is no different than that. Just not a cigar I'd come back to, and with that high price point, it's just another detractor that would keep me away from coming back to it. So, just not a cigar for me at all. All right, let's get into the scores. We're going to start at the top with Seth at 7.17. John gave it a 5.70, and Jiunn and I both gave it a 5.65. So, Seth, how'd that 7.17 match up for you?
I knew when I saw this cigar that it was going to do well. And I was so pissed off about it because I hate the size. I forgot that the price was $16. I would never buy this cigar. I don't care what I scored it. So it's just way too expensive for what's delivered. And the size is terrible. But at the same time, I enjoy the flavor profile that's delivered.
Seth, you smoke so many Davidoff cigars.
Yeah. So
because they're good and they're worth the money. Got it.
I mean, it's the same price point basically for like a core line Davidoff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to like poke fun, but this is definitely not worth $60. I totally agree with you.
No, it's not.
Right,
I don't like the flavor profile though.
5.7.
Oh.
Listen, there's I think JRE's had some really good releases this year. In fact, this might be one of the best years for releases. Unfortunately, this is just not one of them. Price point aside, it's very average. The first third had me hopeful, but the rest of the cigar was just really mundane, and a size that is this much smoking time. You got to keep me engaged, and at that price point, yeah, it's definitely going to lose me, unfortunately.
All right, Jiunn, 5.65.
I feel exactly the same way you felt, Aaron. So why don't you tell us how we both?
Well, we got there a little differently. So I scored the first third good. I liked the first third, but I had a little bit of burn issues where kind of with the smoke started waning a little bit. So I had to do some touch ups to kind of keep things going along. So the flavor profile of this cigar was better than the previous two cigars we talked about, and I scored them kind of around the same range. It's just the construction kind of took away some way. So, but the price point is ridiculous for what you get, I think. So it's just it's a hard sell for me. So final thoughts from you guys on this one. And so Seth, what is it about the Vitola that you don't like? You just don't like the tapered head?
I hate that it's this huge press and a tapered head. It's like when
hard
I
to hold, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of funky. You know what it did?
You gotta like taper your lips.
It's like if you had a Padron, Bellicose, like one of their torpedoes, fuck a Perdomo cigar. This is what you'd get.
Right.
It's just like you'd have that 60 plus ring gauge from a Perdomo plus the same tapered of a Padron. It's like the Toro is massive, but I really like the flavor profile that it comes with. But I never really got into the Robusto or the Corona. I just think it's too much. It's kind of like if you look at like Illusione Epernay, like La Toro and like the Alpine, those huge pressed Bellicoso Jiunn, like those are really good cigars, and they smoke for a long time, and they have a really nice flavor profile. But it's just like
it's too much.
Size. It's too much. The size is too much, and it's just the price itself.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was a 6'8", 275-pound linebacker, I'd be like, yeah, this is a nice size, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm human sized, and it's too much.
No, because there's already a size that a lot of people love to smoke. Is they don't go this size. They like to go all the way up to 6x60.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and that sells. I mean,
oh god, don't put out any ideas of doing a 6x60 all Corojo, because no.
They'll do a small. You have to look. They do a small, big. Next year, it's going to be under 48 ring gauge.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd be
And then in 20,
Please.
and then you're gonna have a large grain gauge.
Yeah, then
Next
you
year
have
it's gonna be
56, 58.
Lonsdale
yeah.
Lancero.
Oh,
Lonsdale or Lancero.
Stop it.
Telling
Stop
you right
it.
now.
I'm so
Oh,
excited.
Coop had one of these on Saturday at our hearth.
Yeah.
And then I that's right when I got there, sat down, I saw him smoking it. And I was like, well, clearly you like this one, yeah.
Did you like it?
And he's like, yeah, these are good, right? And I was like, yeah, man, I know you like them.
I just think these are the Honduran tobacco just does better. The Aladino Honduran tobacco does better in the smaller sizes, in my opinion. For me,
I agree.
I
agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
All right. If you just catch this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
what are you going to do when the Aladino comes crashing down on you, brother?